And here we are. Sorry for the delay, people. We are the Mickey File podcast. Scott ended up having to do a live stream by himself last 2 weeks ago, so now I get to. I guess payback is interesting, isn't it? So, however, we have a very special guest with us tonight. Our very special guest is I'll personally say he's my new hero. We have Travis Detrick on with us on the live stream of Mickey File podcast. So we want to thank you very much for joining us, Travis. I guess it would be me rather than us.
Right. I think I did a Dapper Day with Scott, so now I can do Small World with you.
Yeah. Yes. Well, that's only fair, you know.
Yeah.
And thanks everybody for coming. I do apologize for the sound quality. I'm having huge technical issues, which is also why we're very late today. So, and I believe we're going to be using this possibly because Scott's work week is a little rough. This might be coming out as our show for this week too. We have live stream and for the podcast. So first, I want to say hello to people joining. So we have Samantha, our dear friend Samantha, which I get
Samantha.
Get to see her in a couple of days.
That's awesome.
I know.
That's awesome.
And then we have Auntie Judy.
Auntie Judy, yay!
Yay! And then Holly Drew Fitch is joining us as well.
Hey, Holly.
And I get to see Holly on Saturday, I believe.
Nice. That's awesome. So many friends.
I know. And then we have a Facebook user. And they're saying congratulations.
Thanks.
Travis. Can't hang about. I'm up early in the morning. So
I think that's Kevin.
I have a feeling that's Kevin Curtis Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yes. So we called this episode It's a Small World Challenge for you, Travis. And
yeah,
we want to explain to everyone, all of our fun people and everyone out there in the world, what was your small world challenge?
Yeah, so it happened this past weekend on Saturday, and it was at Magic Kingdom, and it was riding It's a Small World at Magic Kingdom for just like 12 hours straight, pretty much, minus food breaks and water breaks and a couple restroom breaks. And the challenge was because it's not really an attraction that I enjoy typically. So that was the challenge of, putting this guy on this ride and seeing how many times I could, ride it around the world. And it was to also raise money for Give Kids the World, which is an amazing organization that we all love. And just something fun to kind of tie the two together to make it all happen. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So what made you think of doing it? I mean, to even come up with the idea, other than the fact we know it's not your favorite ride. We're very aware of that.
Right. Yeah.
No, it's definitely not your favorite ride. But what prompted that?
Yeah. So it kind of started as like a little joke that like Tony Ann and I had on a Zoom one night or maybe a couple Zooms to like, I'll put you on that ride and make you ride it all day for charity. How about we'll do something, and, I said, hey, that sounds like a great idea. Like it was just kind of like a passing thing or joke. And, I had kind of thought about it off and on for a while. And then I had this kind of little extra bonus time weekend come up because of the Guardians of the Galaxy preview that I was able to snag. And so I had like kind of a day before where I could just have a free, do whatever. And I thought, maybe this is just a really great time to actually like do something like that. And so I messaged like Tony Ann and Kurt, and just kind of put it out there. say, hey, remember how we kind of like joked about that or said that? I said, I have this kind of like extra weekend coming up, and um, like I'll have a day before my preview.
Mhm.
And do you think like people would get behind it, or do you think like, do you think it would be something that would be really cool, or do you think like it would be something that we could really, because I wasn't like sure, how it all kind of would come together. And it was kind of last minute that
Mhm.
I kind of even planned the weekend. So immediately when I got that I decided, if I want to do this, I need to kind of start planning and kind of putting it out there. And just
Mhm.
so Tony Ann and Kurt and Dave and Chad and Scott and you guys, really helped me a lot with kind of the brainstorming and kind of the thought process. And Tony Ann was really helpful, like, that, you should make a page for a fundraising page. That way all the money will go right there, easy peasy. And so, it was really just a lot of team effort and a lot of, coordination. And, obviously, with the amazing communities that we have, I was just really overwhelmed, like with the response that I got, like right away. Because I know I was talking to Tony Ann about like, kind of a goal and kind of
Mhm.
like an idea. And, it's really kind of my first time I ever did something like this. And I wasn't like too sure, like kind of what to set that number at, just because I didn't want it to be like kind of unrealistic where it would, be something maybe out of reach, but also I didn't want to be like, $250 or, something like. So I thought to myself, like, if I could get 1,000, you know, that'd be cool. a thousand
Right.
dollars, I feel like $1,000 would really, help in some ways for a family, or, just maybe the organization in general with supplies, or,
Right.
whatever. So and she's like, that's fine. 1,000 is a good round number. And
Yeah.
so I was blown away, um, that, we got basically to that number after a day.
I think it was
Um,
even before that. I
Maybe
think
even before that. Yeah.
I
I
if I
mean,
recall, you started it on Sunday afternoon because I believe Scott and I were
yeah, it
actually
was,
cooking, so that's how we
yeah,
knew, and all of a sudden it was like at 800 in, like, 4 hours.
yeah, you're not wrong. And so I raised it again, and like, I was like, and every time I would raise it, it would just be like, bam, it would just be so again, for me, it was just something that I was just really, just really overwhelmed. Like, just I couldn't. I mean, I can, because we have such an amazing community of
Mhm.
people and friends that, there won't be ever a day that I just don't, you know, don't question that, because we just have the best people. We really do, between all the Disney communities, the way we come together. And
Right.
and you know, maybe some people gave money too, just to see me suck on that ride all day. I don't,
Yeah.
but um,
Would it
but it was
surprise you if they did it just to torture you?
no, none. I mean, that's fine. I mean, like I said, it was really great. It was really fun, the whole experience. And I'm just super proud of how it all came together. It's
Right.
something I won't ever forget, for sure.
Right. So do you know as of right now, which is, Tuesday the 17th, do you know what you how much has been donated yet?
Um, I mean, I haven't looked today,
Mhm.
but I know that I believe it's over $4,200, maybe close to 4,300. I believe, which is awesome and amazing. And um, I can't think. I don't. I just don't have enough
Are you getting
words.
choked up? Are you getting choked up on this,
I
Travis?
I just don't have enough words to. Goodness, it's
Yeah,
just it was, it was fun because as like the day went on and more people donate, like, and it got closer to the goal, and like people like were sharing it on their personal page, and
Mhm.
like we even had like, because of the QR code that was on my shirt, we even had people in line like asking us about the shirts and like um what was going on, and we were telling them, and we had a few people that actually scanned the QR code and made donations, just random people in line.
Mhm.
So that was
Yep.
pretty special.
And they
So,
did we have, Samantha, Judy, and Tony Ann have also all looked it up, so we're at
oh, okay.
43 we're at f you're at
40.
4304.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
was close. Yeah. I
Yes.
haven't looked at it today, but
Right.
um so I mean that's fantastic. I
Yeah,
mean,
and like Tony Ann says here, you are a rock star. You really are. So, we're very proud of you. We're very proud that
thank you.
that we're able to help you with this,
Yeah.
and be there and do all this, but the fact that this much in funds has been raised in such a short period to
Yeah.
go for Give Kids the World is just amazing.
Yeah.
So, um, I I'm proud to be associated with it, but I'm proud to be part with you to help, you know, perpetuate this, which is such a positive thing. So, I mean, I know that when we were there and talking with different cast members and they'd ask about our shirts if we,
Yeah.
um, and everything, they're, well, what is it? And a lot of people, oh my gosh, Give Kids the World, we know about them. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they did. And just to see them like encouraging us and like getting kind of behind it, and at the end of the day, when I was trying to get to 20, they're like, okay, how many more do we need to go around, and just stay on for the last two or three or whatever it was. And
mhm,
um that was super cool. I mean, that
yeah,
was really super cool. And um it was also nice too, because when when you spend that much amount of time on the ride, you get to learn about the attraction a little more,
mhm,
and they tell you some of the things about the ride that I didn't know, certainly, but I don't think most guests would know,
right.
even if they're a fan of the ride. So that was super cool.
Mhm,
And talking to the cast member that has been working the ride for like 6 years, she said,
right.
and filling us in kind of on the finer details to kind of look for. And so it was fun to do that, like, as the day went on, and
Mhm,
like they would say, well, when you're in this room, look for this or this, or
right,
so that was really cool. That was really
right.
cool. Yeah.
So what was and I do remember because you and Scott both brought it up on the cast member at the beginning, like when you guys went on the first ride, I think she'd said to you about when she comes in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, when
And
she
yeah, go
comes
ahead.
in the morning, she's a trainer because she's been there, like I said, for about 6 years. Um, and she gets in there before it's even open, before there's any guests in the park, before they've even turned on like the park music and stuff. Um, they actually turn off the music to the ride when it
Mhm,
closes, but they
right.
don't turn off the animatronics. And so she has to take like one or two rides,
Mhm,
just for testing and just for various things. And so all she hears is just the clicking or the blinking of the dolls or whatever, and that would be rough. I think.
yeah, that would be
I think.
terrifying. 'Cause I know
Yeah,
when we were doing it, when it was we were doing those last few rides that you could hear every little thing, we're like, "That is terrifying."
yeah, yeah. I mean, after about the fourth or fifth ride, honestly, the song, like, I mean, I know I could hear it obviously, but like it wasn't like the focal point anymore, because like I would hear bagpipes, or I'd hear little bells, or I would hear
Mhm,
like, or I would notice like the things that she kind of said to watch for or pay attention to. So, I mean, the song, I mean, it is what it is, but
right.
like honestly, after a little while, I just was like, "Oh, I hear the, the bugle or the
Right.
bagpipes or whatever,"
Yeah,
or
that was one thing I'd hear,
or I'm
the
looking for
bagpipes or
the
the yodeler, like the
yeah, the
yodeling look.
right, right,
You'd
or
hear
I
certain things that you never hear because 'cause you're
right,
focused
right.
on looking all around. Now, of course, we're not like Dave here who has to have a put his fingers in his ears because he couldn't stand it, but, that's a whole other issue with on the picture we have up.
Yeah. I think the song actually does play in the queue, Samantha. I'm pretty sure that it
If
does.
it does, I don't I think it's just
Or
for
wait,
some.
no, I'm sorry. It does play though, not I mean, it doesn't play outside, but like I feel like though once you get inside the building and you go down the ramp,
Right, I think that's where you
then
start hearing, yeah.
by the tower, the clock tower, I think that's when it starts to play or whatever.
Right, so if you're up at the top queue, up
Yeah,
at
I
the
don't think you can hear
queue up
it
at the
from
top on
right.
land, I don't think you hear
Right,
it,
but
yeah.
as you come down the walkway and you get
Mhm.
towards the clock tower that goes off every 30 minutes and every hour on the hour,
But it's not on
it
the hour.
it's not though. It's so weird, wasn't that was so weird. It was like 5 minutes early or it was
Yeah,
just
I
strange.
think Scott said it was like 4 minutes early.
4
4
minutes,
minutes
yeah.
over time, yeah.
Yeah. Um so yeah, yeah, so it's that.
Yeah, that cast members would hear the song all day. Yeah,
Oh yeah. I could yeah. I don't know.
but it's one of those like we said, like you said, we after a while, I didn't even hear the song unless every once in a while you got, especially in the white room, if you came at a specific angle, you
Yeah.
got multiple speakers hitting you, so then you did hear it more.
You
But I think
did. Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
throughout the rest of it, other than the white room, I don't think.
Not really. I mean, like I said, the first 3, 4 rides, 5 rides, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, but then as we like got to know the cast members a little more and they were telling us little things or like, hey,
Mhm.
watch out for this, or watch for the hidden Mickey, or watch for the blue elephant, or um,
Yeah, there was
it
lots of
was
things on that, yeah, that
yeah, yeah,
you don't
yeah,
see unless you go on it, which was how many times did you do it, Travis, in 12
20,
hours?
20.
20. So, yeah, so Travis is exempt from ever going on Small World for the next I think Scott said it was, 2042 is when he doesn't have to go on it anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be on it with the girls in December for our family trip because they get a kick out of it, but
Oh, are
just
you gonna
once though, just
yes, just once. Are you gonna
not
show
20
them
times.
are you gonna show them all the
Yeah,
little
I can
fields and
show them
stuff?
lots of things now. Yeah,
I know.
yeah, I can show them lots of things now for sure.
Yes.
But
So
yeah,
so one other thing that you did do is on your, you so you did do live streaming. Okay, let me take a step back here. You did live stream, like, the first ride and then
hmm
several of the rides through.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then, of course, we actually did a phone call, kind of a video phone call with everyone
yeah,
on the 20th ride.
yeah.
So
As many people as we could, definitely.
right,
Yeah, that
right.
was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
So, one of the things you did during some of those live streams, started talking about the hippo. So,
Yes.
you thought about you wanted to do naming for the hippo, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yep.
because we already had Chester, what is it? Cheetah, what is it?
I
Chester.
called him cheetah. What do they call him? The cheetah. The
Yeah, Cheetos Chester. Is that what it
Cheetos.
is?
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like that.
or
That was.
Chester's Cheeto or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
That he's in,
Yeah.
like, the, pre-Navi room with the blue.
Yeah. The prequel to Navi River. Yeah.
Yeah.
The blue streamer, like whatever that was.
Mhm.
I was just making up random stuff by the end of the night of like
I know.
I was just giving different things different names. It was a little delirious at that point maybe, but it
Right.
was fun to me.
Yeah.
Um, and so I was just giving little random names to random things I saw. And,
Right.
um, but I did figure out the name. So we're gonna call the hippo. We're gonna name the hippo Gloria. She looks like a Gloria.
Gloria. Okay, and who came
Somebody
up
had
with that
said
one?
um Oh man, I looked before I came on here, and I actually it might have been Samantha, maybe, or it might
Oh,
have
it
been
must be Samantha, because
Holly.
based on the comment here where Samantha goes, she's obviously a Gloria.
Okay,
So
that's
it
who. I
must
couldn't
be
remember if it was
Samantha.
Holly or Samantha. So
Yeah, Holly, I think, had 2 different ones, but, yeah, so,
yeah, so that's gonna be the name.
yep,
So
it's
if you're,
Gloria, like Gloria
um,
Estefan, right?
yeah,
Or
yeah,
just Gloria,
or just
so
Gloria, yeah, just
yep,
Gloria.
yeah. So, and Judy wants to know when you're gonna be there in December.
Yep. So I'll be there the week after Christmas. It's
Mhm.
actually our Christmas gift to the girls.
Oh,
So
nice. Do they know
we'll
it
be
yet?
there. No, no,
Okay,
they
very
don't.
nice.
So be surprised. So
Good, good.
the 26th through the 2nd of January. So that's when
Oh,
we'll be there.
nice. So, in Dan Austin, yes, it's the blue hippo, in the jungle, I call it the jungle room, but I guess it's more the Africa room.
Yeah.
Um, that it's got the weird eye, which they're supposed to blink at the same time, but they don't. So,
No,
yes.
actually the cast members said that it's supposed to be a true blink,
Uh-huh.
but the other eye malfunctions a little bit enough to where it kind of blinks, so it looks weird, but
Yeah.
it's not. It's only supposed to be like a true like wink.
Yeah.
So,
So,
yeah,
I was voting for Holly Fitch's, name, and
Princess
she wanted
Stephanie.
Princess Stephanie. Because she even said on there she could see the spandex and the high kick going. So,
I, you know,
I
yeah,
was rooting for that one too.
yeah. I actually just kind of, I think I just put the names like in a randomator thing or whatever,
Oh,
and
okay, yeah.
just, just that's how I think I really did. I just,
And that's
you
fine.
know,
I'm just giving you a hard time.
no, no, that's I should have put that in there twice maybe because everybody gets a kick out of, our girl Princess Stephanie.
Our
So
girl Princess Stephanie,
yeah,
exactly.
so
Yep.
maybe it could be Gloria the Princess Stephanie,
Oh, could be,
what,
yes.
maybe I don't know.
Okay,
But
but Samantha brings up a good point. There can only be one Princess Stephanie.
it's true.
Yes,
This is a fair point.
it is a fair
It's a
point.
fair point.
So we do have some pictures to show people as well. So, like you said, you did do 20 rides in 12
Yeah.
hours.
Yep.
The last 3 were kind of a mad dash to
Kind
get
of.
done.
Yep.
But somebody did ride 20 of those rides with you.
They did. That's unbelievable that he did. And
Yes. So
Scott is amazing. He was right there with me every single
I
ride.
know. I was very
And
proud of him. I didn't expect him to do that. I
I
figured we were
was
gonna have to
too.
trade off.
I
Yeah.
told him at the beginning of the day, you know, listen, I know you don't have to do this like every time. I don't expect you to.
Right.
You know, feel free to check in on me or what. And even when Dave showed up, Dave and Veronica, I said, "Hey, man, just 1 or 2 rides.
Mhm.
Listen, no obligation to keep, because I know he came in and took the time to drive in, and I'm like,
Mhm.
look, if you got some other things you're trying to do or go eat, no, please,
Yeah.
and he's like, no, 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 we're right. And so
Yeah.
that meant a lot to me, and
Mhm.
I appreciated it, and I'm very grateful. It definitely kept me entertained, and it for sure helped. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
and I know, like he said, like Scott says here, I have stats. He actually had
he
stats
does. Yeah,
for
he does.
every ride. First of
Yeah.
all, he kept track of how many minutes you were that you guys went through the white room, that you were stuck in the white room. Because
Yep.
in case people don't know, on Small World, which if you don't know, I don't know how you don't know, but that's a whole other issue. On Small World, as you go through and you get to the last room, everything is in white. There's no colors in there. They have gold, but that doesn't really count. It's the white room. So all of the characters, all of the decorations, everything is in white. So it is technically the longest room because it's the final room before you go in and see your name on the boards, on the digital boards, and when you get off the ride. So that room tends to back up quite a lot. So you technically spend the most time in that room for that ride. So Scott was actually keeping track that as soon as the front of the boat crossed the threshold of the white room until you made it all the way through the white room, he was keeping track on a
Note
stopwatch.
section. Yeah. Oh
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, he had a timer
Yeah,
for
he had his
every
timer on
time.
his phone, keeping
Yep.
stats, and then he actually kept stats um of how long was spent in the white room, along with how many miles
Yeah, he
you
converted the
rode.
feet to miles. Yeah.
Yes, yes, converted the
Yeah.
feet to miles, right. And then he was also keeping track of how many times your name or Scott's name or Dave's name or my name appeared on the board, like the goodbye board.
Right.
So he was keeping track of that. And unfortunately, okay, let me go back here. Scott has that you traveled 4.11 miles were traveled in those 12 hours that you did on those 20 rides. Hey, longer than a 5K.
That's true.
I know,
That is
closer to a
true.
6.
It's my
Yep.
first official 5K, Small World 5K.
There you go. There you go. And then Dan Austin, we're trying to, like I said, Scott has those stats, and unfortunately, he is not on with us. He's still working, almost in the dark right now. And he has the stats of how many times Travis's name out of each ride appeared on the board.
Yeah.
Which I believe you were. Oh,
I think it was
yeah. Scott only kept track
yeah.
of Travis, and we'll explain the Rebecca thing in a minute, but he was keeping track of Travis. But Jennifer, I just wanted to let you know that we were glad that you guys were able to come on that final ride with us. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
And then Samantha, no, Dave Youngward never got his own name show up
He
because of a
never did.
glitch that is going on with Disney IT. Dave Youngward was showing up as Rebecca. So Rebecca's name, which was Dave, showed up, I think 4 out of the 5
4 out of
rides
5.
yeah,
Yep.
4 out of the 5 times that he rode
Right.
Small World.
Yep.
And yeah, oh no, it was 4 out of 6. Scott put it up here. And Travis, your name showed 13 out of 20.
Right. That's about I was thinking about 70%, like
Yeah.
14. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I think officially mine showed up like a half because it showed up after we left the room
Right. Right.
one time.
Right. Right.
And I
Right.
think I wrote it 13 times. So,
I think so. Yeah, that sounds about right. About
yeah.
13 times. Yep.
And I don't think Veronica ever showed up. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was yeah. Yes, Jennifer, it showed up as a half because we were basically, our boat was almost completely out of the room that shows the names.
Yeah.
So I just happened to look back over my over the corner of my shoulder and saw my name at the very
Yeah.
end, but our boat was already through.
Yep.
So I was just the way the cast members were getting excited trying to help you achieve that last 3 rides, because that was really
Yeah.
the
That
fireworks
was fun.
were
That was
going
fun.
off, and it sounded so weird inside of
It
there.
sounded so weird to be
Yes.
on that ride, to hear the fireworks going off. It was
They were
like
so loud.
they were very loud.
Yes.
Very loud.
Very
Yeah.
loud.
So that's something, a first that I've experienced, of
I know,
course.
because usually you're watching
So
the fireworks.
right, or on a ride or something, but yeah, or
Right,
some, not
right.
well, not that ride, but yeah, so that was interesting to hear them going off, and I'm like, "Oh, it must be fireworks time,"
Right.
because otherwise we're under some sort of possibly
Bomb here,
military
yeah.
attack, so
Well,
yeah.
and they're not set off very far behind Small World either, which is why it's
No,
so loud.
no, because when we came out, I remember when we came out at the end when we were done,
Mhm.
they were spraying water, remember, on
On
like
the
where
roofs,
Peter
yeah,
Pan is, like where on the roofs, because you're like, that's where, the fireworks
they're
probably,
coming down, yeah.
yeah,
And I never realized at night why the ground was so wet back there, and this is the first time I finally saw,
the
and I've
water,
heard
the
about the
sprinklers
sprinklers on
going
there,
off. Yeah.
but yeah,
Mhm.
but back in Fantasyland in there, the ground is just puddles of water, and I never understood why until actually seeing right when the fireworks ended, basically, that they have
Mhm.
sprinklers on top of all of the ride buildings to
Yeah,
keep the buildings from catching on fires from the what is it? The embers of the fireworks.
right. Yeah,
So, I thought that was really interesting because
yeah,
that's something like yeah, like I said, I
yep, yep.
in, um so Judy's asked the question, "Did they let you stay on the ride at the end, or did you still have to get off and back in line?"
Yeah, so I pretty much the whole day just got off the ride and got back in line. The wait wasn't terrible. It was maybe an average of like 20, 30 minutes maybe tops. They did one time because they knew what I was doing, and it was actually the original cast member in the morning.
Right.
She saw us in line and she said, "Hey, come with me." Um, so she put us through the lightning lane the one time. But
Mhm.
other than that, I mean, we just got back in line
Yeah.
and then at the end, like I said, I think we did stay on without getting off at the end for like the 3 rides in a row to get to like
The last
20.
3, like, technically
Yeah,
18, 19, and
18,
20.
19,
We went up
20.
and
Yeah.
hold on, because it was getting close to the 12 hours ending, but we really wanted to get to a nice even number
Even
of
number, yeah. And
so, yeah. So I know we talked to one of the cast members, and they're like,
yeah,
"You're doing what?" Because apparently they
yeah,
hadn't been there most of the day, and they're like,
yeah.
"You've been on
That's
a how
true
many
that
days?"
some of the cast members at night hadn't been there, and they're
Right.
like, You've been here like the whole day? Like all day?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yep." So that was cool.
Yeah.
Um, it was also cool that Chad showed up.
Yes.
He showed up in the evening. I
Mhm.
think he did like 2 or 3 rides with us.
Yeah, and he said, "Yeah, I'm done. I'm out."
Yeah, yeah, but it was cool to see him, and that
Mhm.
was fun. And I think he did one of the lives on his the My DVC
Right.
page, which was super cool.
Mhm.
Um, so it was nice to see him and have him a visit with him, and so I think there's at least 3. That makes 3 podcast
Mhm.
groups
Yeah, 'cause we
represented.
had
I think
The Disney Crush, yeah, Dave and
Disney
Veronica from the
Crush,
Disney
yeah,
Crush,
Geeky
then yeah,
File,
and
and My
then DVC
DVC.
point. Yeah, my
Yeah,
DVC points. So,
yeah. So um, very fun. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was actually it was not as probably the best way for me to describe it. I thought I was gonna be like, "Oh my god, I am so sick of this ride. I never wanna go on it again." But I don't even think that way. I thought it was just really cool. It was exhausting, though.
It was. Yeah, it was. I was pretty tired at the end.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, it was. I was a little tired at the end.
Mhm.
And I don't think it was just necessarily because of like the song or anything, or just.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of a long ride in general. I mean, it's
Mhm.
like about a 14, 15 minute ride in general.
Right.
So when you do that 20 times, I mean that just sitting on the boat alone, adds up or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, but just you know, like I was just really pushing to get as many rides as I could,
Mhm.
and I really wanted to do that because I wanted I wanted it to be a challenge, and I wanted to like challenge myself,
Right.
and and so I was just trying to push as many as I could, and just really do that. And then I kind of had the idea, and I know a couple other people mentioned it about like maybe tying like $1 per ride,
Mhm.
kind of like an extra donation, or just if you hadn't donated yet, and like maybe that'd be a fun way to donate.
Right.
So then I thought, okay, so then I really wanted to make it, really worth the while to definitely get to at least 20, to
Right.
have that like $20 mark or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, so I was pushing for it, and I mean, I wish I could have got a few more in, but
Mhm.
I think overall, I'm still pretty, happy with what I did and how many I got, and
Yeah.
it was great. It was just a great day of like all day. I was just getting messages of like support and just
Mhm.
text and like comments on the Facebook group about um, you know,
Yeah, just the support, and then, like Samantha here, that her family members were, concerned about our backs.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I will give you a pro tip here. For me and Scott,
Mhm.
um, it was me, Scott, and Dave. We were in the front row of a boat, and
Mhm.
that about killed our knees.
Right.
We were hurting. So we were like, anything but the front row because I don't know what it was. I don't know the way the angle of the boat just, or if it was just the fact that three people were in what I don't know.
Yeah, it
But
wasn't meant for
our
people with long legs at all, because Veronica and I had room, but we were just 2 of us in the front. So, and we're
yeah,
shorter
and
than you guys are.
so
So, but yeah, so
we
yeah, like
determined
Dave
that the
said,
front row for three people that are, you know,
normal
it
size.
might not be the best row to ride in. So
Right.
there's your yeah.
There's your tip. There's your tip.
Climbing in and out of the boat was tricky.
Yeah.
It was I was getting my knees were feeling it
Yeah. I think
towards
yeah, I
the
think
end.
all of our
Yeah,
knees were feeling it,
yeah, just
because you don't realize getting in, it's easy because you can step on the seat and get down, but
right.
then to get out, you have to step
You have to,
on the seat to still step up.
right,
So,
right,
yeah. Yeah.
right.
So Tori wants to know if your quads were sore from getting out of the boat in and out of the boat so many times.
Yeah, I mean, I was feeling it like on my knees and like my quads for
Yep.
sure. When we were in the front row the one time, because I think we were in the white room a little,
Longer.
long or whatever. I think like my toe or foot or something was going to sleep, and I'm like, I need to like stand, like I need to
Yeah.
get. So we all
Yeah.
determined like we don't anything but the front row.
Yes, anything but the
I don't
front
know
row,
what
which
it
is basically
was. It just
not row 1 or not row 7, because they have 12 rows that
that's
they set you
true.
up
They
on,
have
right?
12, right?
Because
Yep,
it's 2
one or
boats, so
seven, right?
right.
Yeah.
So 1 or 7.
So
So if
yeah,
you're taller than, like, 5'5", and they
right.
wanna put 3 of you in there, say, "Can
It's
I
gonna
go
be
to
a
row?"
rough shape. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it sounds weird to say that. I don't really, still can't really truly understand why, but like,
Right. And and I
trust
guess
me.
and I understand, because if you look at the internal shape of the boat, it actually, the tip goes up, so they have to curve it, but they don't wanna curve the outside of the boat because they all bump into each other, so they
Right,
have to do it on the inside, and I understand logistically, but
right.
then don't put tall people in there.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
that was tough. And then I also learned that at times I'm maybe not the best multitasker because I was trying to do the flatties and maybe
Yeah,
sometimes try to do a live and like hold things and not let my friends fall in the water or
right.
the flatties or
Well,
whatever or my phone or
luckily they were laminated, so even if they
that's
fell in,
true.
they were still okay.
That's true. That's true. We did see a floating water bottle on like ride 4 or 5 maybe, and I was scared because I thought maybe the water bottle was going to get into the main track area and they were going to have to close it down, stop it, shut it down for like an hour or something. But
Oh, evacuation.
um,
Hmm,
yeah, but that bottle was pretty far off, and
okay.
it just kind of
I
chilled out there the whole day.
didn't
So
even think about that, but
yeah,
you
I
did.
don't think you were on that ride because I think you were
No, must not have
shopping,
been.
but yeah, but yeah, we saw a floating water bottle. Like it
Mhm.
wasn't in the track area; it was just off to the side.
Right.
And so every time we would go by, I would be like, "Okay, where's that water bottle at?" Because it needs to stay over there. So, um, yeah, so it was um, it was fun. I mean, me and Scott had a lot of fun with it. We definitely had entertainment. Like I said, I just kind of came up with little things to look for differently the next time
Mhm.
around, or you know, um, find th- just find little nuanced things to just stay entertained.
Yep,
So,
yep. And we do know about, like, there
oh
are
yeah,
some
that's true.
people
The lady in front of us did lose her
who
phone
lost her.
on the ride.
Actually, no, she lost her glasses, not her phone. They fell off her
Oh,
head.
her glass. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was
I
her
thought.
glasses, and before
Oh,
we took off, I tried to stand up and see if I could
oh,
see, because
that's right.
that's
Yeah,
when
that's right.
Veronica and I were in the front row, and they were gone, and we were
Gone.
loading.
Yeah.
I mean, we were loading, and they were gone immediately.
Hey, what was it? The 19th ride, or it wasn't the 20th? I don't think it was where they stopped and they stopped the
Yes,
ride and they said,
it
"Ladies and
was.
gentlemen, please keep your hands and feet within the ride or
It was
whatever."
the
And
20th
they're
ride
like,
because we were
"We
doing
can."
live. Yeah,
It was the 20th ride. Okay.
yeah,
And they're like, "We can see you," and I'm like,
yep.
so that was
Yeah,
that
Scott
was
said
the
it was the 20th, yeah.
20th.
But yeah,
Okay.
what
Yeah.
did they say? They go, "Please sit down. No, keep your hands out of the water. We can see you,"
Yeah.
is what it was, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's I mean, I've heard them say, "Don't put your hands, keep your hands and feet,
Right.
in the boat."
Right.
I've never actually heard them come on and
I
just
haven't
point
either.
blank say, "We can see
We
you."
can see you. Yeah, we can see you. Do I like the ride more or less now?
Yeah, good question, Samantha. That's a good
That is a
question.
good question.
Mhm.
Honestly, actually, honestly, for me, I mean, I don't need to you know, do it more than once, typically in a typical trip.
Mhm.
But I, I would probably say a little bit more, but just because of the things that they pointed out or the things that I learned about the attraction.
Right.
Um, that the cast members told me about, and so now I feel like when I ride the ride, I'll be able to look for things and remember things and see things that maybe a typical guest wouldn't maybe experience on the ride. Just some of the the hidden Mickeys that they
Mhm.
have, or the blue elephant, or just the facts about some of the animatronics that they were telling me about, in some
Mhm.
of the rooms. And so because I like that kind of stuff, I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to that kind of stuff. And
Right.
so, and I'll always remember the weekend and what we did. And
Mhm.
so it will all the attraction will hold a very special place to my heart.
Mhm.
Um and so I get, a little bit more, but I mean, I don't probably need to write it more than once, when I'm there, or certainly
Or
20 times in a
you let
typical
your
day.
family go and you can film them
No, I
coming here.
mean,
Yeah.
no, I mean, my girls like to do it, and I love, you know, I love that because it's just time with them, and
Right.
I'm happy, but I don't certainly need to maybe do it, you know, um
More than that?
crazy, yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't like it less. I will say that, just because what it meant to me to do that, and to just be a part of something really amazing that we did.
Right.
Um, and so it will hold a special place to my heart,
Uh-huh.
definitely. Because of the time that we all had on the ride,
Right.
and just what we
And the
did
fun
for Give Kids the World. And
yeah.
so I just don't think that I, you know, need to do it over and over and over and over
Right.
again.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah, so Dave wants to know because remember how many of the coins we saw? There was so much money in the
there was
water
so
there,
much money in that,
in the main
in
room.
the water, and then when you're in the queue, where people were just dropping money over the ledge there into the water, and
Yeah,
there was a ton of money there, and there's a ton of money just throughout the ride and everything. And
yeah,
it would be it'd be something to see them clean that all out, and how much they would have,
right.
that they
I
pulled
mean,
out of
there
there.
was well, because I
So,
remember when we were standing in line to get on one, it was when all of us were there and Dave and Veronica with us too, where this little boy came up and said, "Dad, can I have another quarter?" Because he
oh
wanted to go
yeah,
throw a quarter in
yeah.
the inn, and, and his dad goes, "No, we've already given Disney enough money."
Oh yeah, that's yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. I do remember that, and I looked at I don't know if Dave was there or if it was just me and Scott, and I looked at him and I said, "He's not wrong." I mean,
No, he's not. He's not wrong at
um,
all. So,
But
Oh,
that was kind of a funny point, and then it was kind of funny too to hear like just the guests that we would ask us about the shirts,
right.
and we would we would tell them what's going on, and they would say like, "Oh my goodness, like, do you need some like Tylenol? Are you good?" Or and I'm
Yeah,
like, "Yeah, we're great." I mean,
yeah.
so it was just kind of funny, like, but everybody that we talked to, like the guests and stuff, I mean, they had
Yeah, somebody
most
just
of.
showed up.
I know, I see that. Most of them, most of them had heard of Give Kids the World, and
Right.
they were like, "Oh, that's super cool." And like
Mhm.
I said, a few people donated, so
Yeah. That was
that
very
was
cool.
really
They read
awesome.
the QR code and they donated right off of the shirt.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
okay, so Tony Ann's got another has a next challenge.
Oh yeah, what?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Festival of the Lion King Challenge 2023.
That
So
one would be harder just because of the fact that it's 1,000 degrees in that theater. So I would need a lot of water because it's so hot
yes.
just in that. I mean, take away the performance or whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
It's really hot in there. So
Yes, it
they're
is.
gonna have to help me out with the air conditioning and that at minimum. And
Apparently
they're gonna
Mike is
also have
watching, by
to,
the way, because Tony Ann
yeah,
just yelled Scott. So yeah.
they're also gonna have to do some. I mean, those bleachers are brutal. I mean,
Oh, those are
it's
brutal. Those are way worse than the seats in the boat.
yeah.
Way.
So I'm not sure. I'd have to maybe think about that one.
Yeah.
But I guess there's only what, 5 or 6 shows for the day. So
Yeah,
I
so
don't
it'd
know.
be that I mean, it would be
So
a fairly easy challenge,
yeah,
but
yeah.
do you
I
wanna do
love
it?
I love Tori, and we got her on one of the lives, and Talmadge,
Right.
Talmadge,
Yeah.
yeah, Talmadge.
Yeah.
He was asking me, or he was saying to me about coming to Disneyland now to do Small World.
I
He should
wanna
come.
I wanna go
He
on
should
that
come to.
Small World.
He
That to
should
me
come.
is because it's
Yeah.
outside. That's the coolest one, and I
Is
wanna
it?
go at Christmas. It
Ah,
starts
because
out
of the
it starts
overlay
and
and
ends
stuff. Yeah.
outside. Yep.
It starts outside. Okay.
Or it goes outside. I'm not 100% sure if it starts, but it goes
Okay.
outside, and
Oh.
that one, they actually decorate it for Christmas. All of the dolls inside and everything are all decorated.
Oh, and I've heard there's like little Disney characters kind of like,
Yes.
and
Yes.
so I like Disney World should do that, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
but
so, but Judy has a like Judy said, yeah, she read recently that Disney takes all the money from the waters and fountains and they donate thousands to Give Kids the World. So yes, Judy, out of what is it, the Wishing Well by Cinderella's Castle,
yeah, yeah,
they donated $30,000 from the fountain, from that
yeah,
well,
yeah,
to Give Kids the World. So, there's plenty of money that people don't, throw in fountains and everything that Disney donates to Give Kids the World because they're that closely tied
yeah,
with them, and I mean, they're right there. I mean, they're in Kissimmee. So,
yeah.
um,
I think a little sidebar note. I think Samantha, I think she asked. So before I came, I was at the
mm,
airport, obviously to come and everything, and I was actually having dinner at one of the restaurants. There was a couple sitting next to me, and like the tables aren't like super close to each other, but they're not
yeah,
like far apart, and they were actually talking about their trip coming up
mhm,
to Disney or whatever, and they started the um, woman was like, it seemed like what she was saying was they were just going to get up in the morning and they
uh-huh.
were just going to see what park bus came first, and that would just be the park that they would go to.
Wow, that's
So
that's
I was like,
that's
oh
crazy,
my goodness, I don't think these people have park reservations, or why would they say something like that?
right?
So I didn't really, I heard that and I thought, oh boy, but then they started talking more and more, and I'm like, I don't know. These people they're gonna have a problem on their hands if they truly don't have park reservations and they get there. And I was
Right.
like worried that, like, because Scott had mentioned something about it was tricky to get a Magic Kingdom reservation for
Yes.
Saturday, and like, and they seemed well enough and they seemed nice enough. So I did my good deed for the day. And I just kind of, when I was leaving, I said, "Hey, I'm actually." It's funny, I don't mean to interrupt or whatever, but I kind of heard you talking about Disney, and that's it's funny because I'm heading there too,
Right.
and I said, "Do you? What parks are you going to?" And I said that
Mhm.
I'm going to Magic Kingdom Saturday, and I got Epcot Sunday. I said, "What parks will you be at?" And she said again, their plan is to hit all of them, but they don't really have a game plan. They're just going to kind of see. And I said, "Well, do you do you have a park reservation though? Because like it's changed,
Right.
and you can't really do that anymore."
Mhm.
And she said, "Well, no, we don't have park reservations because we're staying on property, and that's like guaranteed to get in if you're staying on property." And I'm like,
No.
"No." I said, I wish it was like that. So, long story short, I helped them get their park reservations,
Wow.
and they even said, "Well, that's something when we get to the Orlando, we'll do it." And I said, let's just do it now because then I can feel better because
Right.
like
Right.
I don't want you to get to Orlando and then like reservations have changed.
Right.
So it's just gonna make me feel better. And we had a laugh about it. And
Uh-huh. So you got
so
them all set up though, did you?
I did I did they knew the app well enough or the system well enough to do it. They just didn't think they had to because they were
Wow.
a resort guest. And they said, "Well, that's if you're coming off property or if you're a local one." No.
No, it's for
And
everyone.
then yeah, so that was kind of like a sidebar event that
Yeah.
happened
That's
on
pretty
that.
cool that you
So,
helped save their vacation.
well, I helped get them in the right direction
Yeah.
because they were saying that, and I was texting my good friends,
Yeah.
and we were having a laugh about it too, and they were kind of like, I think you probably should say something," and I'm like, "Yeah, I think I'm going to," and
Yeah.
so yeah, so
Yeah. So,
yeah, so
Yeah, Jennifer Pulliam said she'd be the same way. I would too. If I had heard that, I would have gone, what do you mean you're not sure
yeah,
what park you're going to?"
yeah,
So that's crazy.
out
So,
there doing God's work,
yeah,
I
so
guess.
yep,
So
so Angela's looking out for you too. Now getting
yeah,
back to the
thanks. Yeah,
small world at Disneyland, that yes, it is amazing at Christmas. I'm still jealous. I've still never been to Disneyland. I still want to go, but I want to go when I can see Christmas in Small World and go on Pirates of the Caribbean where it has 2 drops. So I didn't know if you knew that. It has 2 drops
wait,
at
Small World has drops?
not Small World, I'm sorry, Pirates of the Caribbean has 2 drops.
Oh,
Pirates.
it does
Yes.
at Disneyland.
At
Oh,
Disneyland, it has 2 drops.
I've heard
Yes.
it's better. I just would love
It
to
has
go
it
out
has
there
it's a
too.
longer story, it's a longer ride because
Yeah,
it has more
yeah,
store more
more
because it has
storyline to
more
it.
rooms for the story. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
got two drops. That's interesting.
Yeah, but I've heard that Disneyland because that's the original one. I mean, that's Walt's Small World, you know?
Right,
Um,
sure.
so
Right.
I've heard everything in it is better, even though the dolls are still very creepy. So, okay, so here,
Yeah.
Tori Hunt says, Talmadge heard your voices and say, does he remember that he said he'd go to Disneyland and ride it 20 times? I don't know if we said that.
I I yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe one day. It's a
Yeah,
little trickier getting out there
yeah,
for something like that, but
right.
never say never,
I
I
know, never
guess.
say
Never
never.
never
Win the
say
lottery
never.
and you can go and make that trip, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
it's a
and yep,
little pricier because I don't have the pass to, get
yes,
into Disneyland, but hey, never say never,
yep.
never say never. And if it's going to be part of the 20 rides, then I think he needs to be there for a couple of them.
Oh,
So
exactly.
throw
Put
it back,
Talmadge up on
throw it
that
back
one.
on.
Like it.
Yeah, throw it back on that a
Oh,
little
yeah,
bit,
so
but
here's yes, Tori says that he said it's okay if you just ride it
just
one
ride it
time,
one time.
but
Well,
then
that,
Talmadge has to be with you.
yeah,
Yeah,
sure,
see, that's
sure.
how it works.
That's how it works.
So,
Yeah,
yeah, so
yeah.
Samantha says you need to plan a Christmas time Disneyland, but then we also need to do the Haunted Mansion Nightmare Before Christmas, because that's that gets overlaid for Halloween.
Really? At
Yep.
Disney?
They
Oh.
actually shut it down for like 2 weeks to overlay it.
And they overlay it?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they do any of that? I wonder why they don't do
Can
any
you
of that at
imagine them shutting
Disney
down
World.
Haunted Mansion here? I mean,
Well,
that would cause mad chaos.
well, it might, but if they're gonna do that, but if the payoff is like the overlay,
Yeah.
of that, I think people would be really excited about that.
Mhm. Well,
Um,
ours is already creepy overlay to begin with, more so than
fair, fair,
Disneyland. So I think it's kind of creepy enough.
fair. Yeah, fair.
So
Fair
Dan thinks
point.
that we did it, that everybody did a great
I
job. So,
appreciate that. I
and I'm not
do. I
sure who the
appreciate that.
Facebook user is, but they said they also would have intervened at the airport. I wouldn't be surprised if this is Mandy. That if I hear a stranger talking about with Disney World, I
Yeah.
walk up and join the conversation.
I was getting anxious because like I just kept picturing in my head like, what if they're going there to celebrate
Right.
something, or they were going there specifically to do something in a park or eat at maybe that had dining,
Yeah.
and I was just like, this is not ideal right
Right.
now in
Yeah.
my stress level
Yeah. And it was
because
Amy Beckner that said that.
oh,
So
okay,
yeah.
okay, okay. Um, yeah, so I'm glad I did because they definitely were not prepared
Yeah. Not
as
prepared.
thoroughly. They just were just thinking that
Yep.
they could
It's a
just
little
get in.
scary that people still think that. I mean,
It
it's
is
not
a little
something
bit.
new.
It is a little
So
bit. And
yeah.
then I question, like, because when you buy your tickets, I mean, I
It
mean,
says it
it
like
says like,
18
hey,
times.
would you like to check the park reservation to make sure it's available before you
Right.
or something?
Yep.
She knew that it was in the back, but she just was kept going back to like, we're resort guests, we should be guaranteed. I'm like, we don't have the time to discuss whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent.
Right.
You could do that
Make it
another time.
fix it
We
for
just
you.
have to do it now because
Exactly.
like there's you're talking about Hollywood studios, you're talking
Right.
about Magic Kingdom, and those are very popular, so we need to you know
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so
Samantha says
it's
she thinks it's Halloween through Christmas. I'm not sure if it's that long, but it
oh,
is still a while. So
nice. Very
um
cool. Yeah, very cool. So,
oh, that's nice. Talmadge says it's him. That was very nice.
oh, that's
Aw.
awesome.
And yeah, Samantha, they don't do it here anymore because it's more of a once in a lifetime destination where Disneyland is more locals. Oh, for the
I see.
overlay.
So for like people like
Right.
they want to experience Haunted Mansion the way
Right.
it
Right. And,
is
and
or
Tony
should
said the
be,
same
or
thing. Yeah. That
I
Disneyland's a
gotcha.
lot of locals. They don't mind closing it for 2 weeks. So
I
yeah.
see. I
Yeah.
gotcha. I
And that
gotcha.
makes sense. That makes
It does
sense.
make
Mhm.
that makes perfect sense actually. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I can understand.
Oh, and Tori confirmed. Samantha's right. It is Halloween through Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty
Guess I would
amazing.
have to time. I would be like you. I'm like you. I would want to kind of time it like around the overlays then, I guess,
Yes.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
definitely. Because then you could do
Um,
both overlays because the Small World overlay gets done for Christmas, which usually starts in November, beginning of November ish. And
yeah,
then you have the overlay at Haunted Mansion. That would be a good overlay. You'd be able to kill two birds with one stone.
yeah,
So,
yeah. That's awesome.
yeah.
That's really
So,
awesome.
this has been really cool. Thank you for coming on. I know we had pictures
Yeah,
and stuff to show, but I think this is really just, having a nice discussion about it, having people really, you know, understand how
yeah,
important it was and
yeah.
what
It
what
was
an
super
impact it
great.
made. It really
Yeah,
was, and seeing how excited the cast members were when you talked to them about it and all of that. So, um, it was really neat having them very excited because it was the
yeah,
cast members that kept asking about the shirts because we
yeah,
had the shirts that had which I'll just kind of show, it had the This was the front of the shirt. It was a Small World challenge and had the date on it. Then on the back of the shirt had the list of all the donors. And I don't know why it's not going away. Had the list of all the donors along with the podcast logos for the podcast that donated as well, and shops. So like Figaro's Whiskers and MK, is it Uli Studio. I guess it's MKE Studio. She was on there. Geekin, Mickey File, the Disney Crush. Who else am I forgetting? Oh, Johnny Chamberson's the DW DMSW.
Yeah.
So podcast. So all of them are represented on the back of the shirt. Yeah. And then the QR code was on the right sleeve. So allowed people to donate. So people noticed that a lot of the cast members noticed that, and people actually stopped and asked about the shirts, which was very.
It was super easy to figure out. I figured out how to make a QR code like in 5 minutes. So if I can figure out how to do something like that, anybody can figure out, like, if you're doing any type of fundraising or anything, because that made it just a really valuable thing to have. That way, they literally just took out their phone, scanned it, got on, and donated or whatever.
Right.
So it was really great.
And then we had the flatties. People got to ride around with you.
We did, the flatties. The flatties
donated
were fun.
over a certain threshold. I made a flatty for them. They had the same shirt that you wore, just in a different color. And then and so they got to ride around with you on rides, several of the rides.
Several of the rides,
several of the rides around. So sometimes we had 3, sometimes 2. They were, enjoying Small World with you.
Right. And I had my friends with me virtually and on the live and in person. And so it just made the day really fun. And again, I just can't thank people enough for the support and for coming together and making it happen, and for helping me hit my goal. And
so, but yes, I know. I know it gets you, doesn't it? It gets you. So Amy wishes she could have followed along more. She didn't have service very well up there in Michigan. So, so do you have, what's Bts Pictures? Anything we didn't see? What?
I don't know.
I'm not sure what that means, Samantha. So
you have Bts Pictures.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. And then I believe you still have they should still be up in the group, right? Did you say? Well, actually, you can go back in and actually save them and then repost them. You should be able to.
Okay. I'll try to do that.
Yeah, I'll look into that as well for you.
I know that maybe I know for sure a couple I posted that are still on the group, because I know some people have kind of liked them or commented on them the last couple of days or whatever. So I don't know that I posted all of them, but I think there's some out there, definitely.
Right. Yes.
And sometimes it froze, and so I apologize.
The service in the middle of Small World on the ride sometimes was a little glitchy.
It felt like the white room was kind of bad sometimes, and in the Africa room was kind of bad sometimes. So I tried.
Yeah. Okay. BTS is behind the scenes, by the way. So I found that out.
Oh, no. So, well, no, I think I took a couple pictures, or I showed on the live, where all the emergency exits were.
Yes, we did show that, but that was, you see that when you're on the ride anyway. So, and Tori did confirm it's the first week in December you get both at Disneyland, Haunted Mansion and Small World. So that's cool to know.
I never got stuck. I never got evacuated, so I didn't get true behind the scenes.
Right.
So
Dan Austin, I
Yeah,
believe.
so that's a great thing.
Yep.
The fundraiser is actually still open,
Uh-huh.
and it will stay open until the 21st of May, which is Saturday. So you
Uh-huh.
still have time to donate. You still have
Yes.
time to give. If you were busy this weekend or you got or whatever, you still have time to give. You still have
Mm-hmm.
time to donate to the fundraising. The link can be found in the group page, or
Mm-hmm.
if you need the link, I can give you the link, or Karen, or
Yep. Any of us can give
Kurt, or
you
Tony
the
Ann.
info.
And so it's still running, it's
Mm-hmm.
still going. And so if you had a chance, if you missed it and you still want to be able to do that, you certainly can.
Yes. And actually, somebody now says the next fundraiser should be the Tower of Terror rides. And I can guarantee you I would do one and done. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think I
that,
could do
that
that
would
one.
have to be really, yeah, I'm not sure.
I mean, I don't just get, I mean, I don't know how that would, I mean, the line would be kind of long. I mean, I don't know how many rides you would get, but it's yeah, that would be kind of,
Yeah.
I don't
So,
know.
Scott says the lives stay up for 30 days by default.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Okay.
there you go.
Yep.
That's good to know.
And he thought BTS was a K-pop group. So just letting you know. So
K-pop group. I'm like BTS.
I know.
I'm
I
not
didn't know what that
sure.
was either.
I'm getting old though, so I don't really
Yep.
know what most things are. I
So
don't know.
Glenn says if you've been able to do 30, they let you stand in as a waving character.
A
You know,
waving
kind of like a
character.
little, yeah. That's a good
Yeah.
one. Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Scott says it was 38 minutes in the White Room. That was a long
Total.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So, but yeah, I just
I'm just laughing at some of these comments of people. Okay. Travis, what'd you think of Guardians?
um I liked it a lot. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
It's a super fun ride that I'm gonna really enjoy. I
Mm-hmm.
think if you like those kind of rides at Disney now, I think
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna really like it. It was super fun. I thought, because the music that you get is super cool. There's like possibility of like six different songs, I guess, that
Mm-hmm.
you could get. I got Gloria Stefan conga
Mm-hmm.
for my song, which
Okay.
I was so happy because it was one of the three songs that I was hoping to get.
Okay.
Um, and the queue is really great. It's very air conditioning, so it feels really cool in there,
That's good.
which was good because it was very hot outside.
Yes.
Um, I don't really know what to say.
No spoilers.
Right, to
Ride
not
it
spoil
tomorrow.
it. Yeah. Yeah. So I think everybody's that enjoys that kind of thing is gonna really like the ride. It My buddy Jeff, God bless his heart and soul, he does not like those kind of rides,
Uh-huh.
and it's safe to say that he will never be back on that ride, but he did
Okay.
it.
But he did do it.
Um,
So
he,
yeah.
he did do it, but he was feeling it afterwards. Not maybe I asked him like when we got off, you good? You survived? He's like, I survived, but
Yeah.
he was feeling it though 20, 30 minutes later.
Yeah.
He was rough. It was rough.
Yeah.
Um but it was fun.
Mhm.
I think everybody's gonna really enjoy it, and I look forward to riding it again.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll give you my opinion. Jen Bouchholder wrote it yesterday.
Hmm.
And she said she was a little rough right afterwards, but then she got a pretzel and then she felt better.
Yeah,
So
so I got a smidge of like kind of motion
mhm,
dizziness, sickness, just a smidge of it, like, but after about 10, 15 minutes of just kind of walking again and
mhm.
water, I was I was
Yeah.
fine. My buddy was not. Jeff was he was he was struggling, and
Yeah.
but I'm glad that he was there with me though.
Yeah.
It was that was fun, and so yeah, it's a really cool experience. I think they really did a good job with the ride, and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So see, and we're going to give our opinion because a bunch of us are going. Some of us are going tomorrow, and a bunch of us are going on Saturday, Jen. So we'll be able to give opinion as
Yeah,
well.
I mean, I get and like I kind of get like a little bit of it, like when I do Rock and Roller Coaster.
Uh-huh.
Um, it was about the same level of that, like just kind of, but
Yeah,
then
like for me,
I'm
it's the twist part. I can't do that, but like on rocking because you're strapped down. This
mhm,
one, there's no shoulder bar, it's just a lap bar. So
right,
that's
right,
why you know, I know
right.
it does turn you some. So it's just, each person's different. So,
And
yep.
I hope that if you have a particular song or favorite song, I
Yeah.
hope that you get that.
Oh, I like
And
all of them. So it's
yeah, so do I. I do too, but I had to narrow it down to like three that I was like hoping for, and
right.
so I got one that so I was kind of jamming too, like
Cool.
during the ride. So that was because I
That
I
helps.
really like
Okay,
that song. Yeah. So
great.
yeah.
So, but I want to okay, Sam. Yeah, we're doing breakfast and we're doing, mimosas, the bottomless mimosas
The
early in the
bottomless.
morning.
I
It's gonna be about
mean,
3 hours before. So,
I think yeah,
yeah, okay.
you guys will be good if it's 3 hours before. I mean,
Yeah,
if it was 15 minutes before, I'm not quite
yeah,
sure.
no, it'll be about 3 hours. Yeah, so I
We
think
um we waited about 30 to 35 minutes in line.
okay,
Um, they checked us in several points.
yeah,
I had to scan my
to make
magic
sure
band
that you're
probably about
you. So, yeah.
about three times, and they would only let me ride once, but that
Oh,
was
okay.
fine. I mean, I was hoping to get another one, but
Yeah,
it just they weren't allowing more than one ride during that
okay.
time. So
Yeah,
they may for you though. I don't know. So,
right.
but
Yeah, I think each time is a little different. So, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
all right. Well, Travis, I want to thank you so much for coming on and being with us and talking about your amazing experience last Saturday. So I'm
thank
glad we were
you.
able to be there with you and do all of this with you and support you. And I it's great
Yeah.
to have this large group of family, weird internet family that we have that all support each other. And um, I think it's amazing the amount of money that you've raised for Give Kids the World. Um, but I want to thank you for coming in and sharing all of this and sharing yourself with us and with everybody else. So thank you for joining
Yeah.
us. And I want to thank everybody for contributing and being on with us. And I guess we'll talk to you at another time.
Yeah.
So,
I thank you so much for letting me just come on and talk to you guys and just share more about the weekend and the experience again. Um, like I said earlier, if you still would like to donate and you haven't had a
yes.
chance yet to,
Mhm.
you still can up until the 21st. So
Yep.
very grateful for all of you.
Uh-huh. And I'll go ahead and make sure we put the links back out there. I know Tony Ann will have it back on the Disney Crush. We'll put it on the Mickey file and it'll be there. If anybody has any questions, you can reach out to us. We're more than happy to help. Dan's already placed their
Thank
donation.
you so
Ian
much.
and
Thank you,
Holly.
Sam.
So
Thank you, Dan. The Austins are
yep.
awesome people.
I know they
They're my
are.
awesome Ohio people, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yep.
I
Thank you
really
so
appreciate
much
it.
for joining. And I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Thank you. Good night.